are talking touchdowns here on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. I'm your host, Astaire, joined today by Kurt. Kurt, you've been crushing football all year long. You beat me in a couple head-to-heads. I cut you once, but, you're still ahead of me on the year. But the year's not over yet. We're going to have a chance today. We actually haven't talked about our picks before the show, so who knows? We might be aligned. We might be opposite. We'll find out right now in the next hour here on Talking Touchdowns, brought to you by Run Pure Sports. If you're not a member, I don't know what you're doing. Kurt crushed again in NBA last night, right? You were just talking about your FanDuel account going up, and we love to see that. So, hey, guys, the winning doesn't stop over here at Run Pure. Full disclosure, rough night for my NBA bets playbook, but overall, still, where is this record? 179 since December 1st here for the NBA bet. So we're still up, even though probably worst night of the season last year for NBA. Anyways, runpuresports.com, become a member, hit the thumbs up. Lately, this wasn't me, but my guests like Kurt have been saying we need to get a certain number of likes before we're going to give out these plays. So I know it gets repetitive and boring. So hit the like. We break down the games. Kurt, that's enough for me. Let me hear from you, man. How excited are you for some football this weekend?
I love NFL playoffs. Towards the end of the year, it's always a grind for DFS-wise, so it's nice to go out high on Week 18, but I love these playoffs for DFS, for watching purposes. Maybe it just makes me appreciate it more because it's like we're just grinding towards the end with these 18 weeks. But, man, maybe it's just the fact that I'm not really for sure certain who will win. Like if 49ers had a quarterback I really trusted, they would probably be an outright favorite, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of it's up in the air. I think we might see a couple surprises. I think the Super Bowl champion will be a surprise to everyone. I don't think it's going to be the chalky Eagles, the 49ers. I know that looks good on paper, but I think it's going to be someone random as hell.
I mean, wouldn't you say that it's going to be there's 5 teams, right? 49ers, Eagles, Bengals, Chiefs, Bills. It's got to be one of those 5, right?
Maybe I think the Bengals would be like not out of left field because they were just there, but I feel like all the talk's going to 49ers, Eagles, Bills, Chiefs. Maybe it is the Bengals. They go back and they get the job done. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. I might lean it. I've already bet a couple of them, but not with any true conviction yet. So we'll see how it goes, but maybe the Bengals.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, and people at work who know who do this for a living keep going, oh, hey, did you make a Super Bowl bet yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't found an edge. Most of these numbers are pretty fair or underpriced if you want to take a long shot, right? Yeah. For example, Chargers are 24-1. They should be way higher than that, right? I mean, you got to be kidding me.
What is it?
Yeah. The Chargers are 24-1. You got to give me way more to make that bet. That's way too low, right? I mean, they're probably 40-1. The Seahawks are 70-1. They should be 200-1.
Yeah, I mean they'll never post that though. But 50
I'm just saying that's why I do a lot of week-to-week betting. I think that sometimes in these future markets because they want to protect from the exposure, right? Because you don't want to pay out at a 40-1, you'd rather pay out a 24-1 if it actually did hit.
Yeah,
that's what happens. So, my guy Jay Smooth in here, smash the RPS, the best thing out there, betting and DFS. And I told you what, we talked about it on the NBA rundown. A lot of this is due to the fact how much it helps, especially in the NBA. Talking to you guys like Kurt yesterday, who's going to get this usage? Who's going to get the minutes when they're out? And of course, we've done well in football too. And of course, a lot of that, the strength, you combine Tyler's ability to pick player props, that's going to help you build a core. That's going to help you build some winning lineups, especially on a showdown slate. So excited to dive right in. Kurt, of all the slates this weekend, which one do you prefer, right? Because you can do the 6-game slate, or you can do a 2-game slate for Saturday, right? A 3-game slate or a showdown slate. Am I correct there?
Yes. So we'll have every single showdown covered for all 6 games. I think I'm going to go with just the 6. I like the bigger slates. They're probably harder.
For purposes today, let's use the 6-man prices because I know they're all different.
I actually did not know that yet. That's crazy.
Well, right. Well, for a 2-game is going to be different than a 6-game. Because otherwise, everyone's just
because it's because the 6 game's so damn soft. They made the pricing so soft.
For when I go to you today for DFS, let's go off the 6-game slate.
Okay.
That way, people aren't getting confused on the pricing.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to be talking about doing the full 6-game slate, but it's a great opportunity for DFS. I love the fact that we're going to be able to build a 6-game slate, right? And I'm going to start on that today. But then tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up, watch the content, and build separate 2-game slates. And because I'm so looking forward to Jaguars and Chargers, I'm going to definitely hit that showdown. Do you have any showdown playbooks, Kurt? Because I love the way you've been doing these playbooks.
Yeah, it'll be split down the middle between me and Rubio. So I don't think we've assigned them yet, but I'll be on half and Rubio.
Well, I'm rooting you forget the Chargers Jags because that's, to me, just as a football fan, that's the most intriguing game of the weekend in my mind.
He usually lets me kind of just pick.
Well, pick Chargers Jags for me, okay, buddy?
I will. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so funny how much you can easily I'll sometimes leave the name Rubio up the top. I'll forget to change the name, but I feel like everyone who goes to those they know
that it's you, right?
I mean, Rubio's just usually more cleaner. Yeah. I usually write a lot longer though, but I mean. Rubio's.
I don't think Rubio uses a tanning bed. I can definitely tell that when looking at it.
Dude, it's this lighting. Like my settings on here. Well, I do tan, but the setting on here too. The one that looks best is this tan light so I have it on both, so it does enhance it. But sheesh,
bro. So during the summer, I was hiking so much, and I had the nice natural tan. And dude, I feel like I look like a ghost on the screen right now because
I mean, look. If I change the lighting, look at this. Now it looks.
Now it looks a little more. Why don't you do that? Are you trying to look orange?
I just think it looks weird. It looks just like ghost. Well, actually, I fuck with this. Okay.
I think that's better that way. Yeah,
that's so much better. I didn't know that. Okay.
All right, guys. If you like Kurt's new lighting, hit that thumbs up. Let's dive right in. Seattle Seahawks are +10 now on Bookmaker in San Francisco, taking on the 49ers. Total's 42. The weather that I was complaining about will be affecting this game, Kurt. Here in Northern California, it's been raining since before New Year's Eve, and it doesn't look to stop during this weekend. Right now, I expect there to be rain on the field on Sunday. Obviously, just like picking winners, the forecast subject to change here. But it should be a raining game out there in San Francisco. Total's 42. Kurt, I want to bet on the Seahawks. I like Pete Carroll. I like the Seahawks as a team. My dad grew up in Seattle. I like kind of rooting for them as a secondary team. These wild card teams have just been terrible. So
the 7 seed been getting their ass kicked.
Home favorites in the last 10 years in double-digit spreads are 11-0 against the spread. In the wild card round, in the last, what was it? It's 50. About 63 games, only 7 games has the spread mattered. So you pretty much just pick the winner. There's only 7 times where the dog lost but covered, right?
Wow.
So basically, this is just saying when an underdog covers, it's because they're winning outright. That's my point. Is number one, these double-digit spreads are there for a reason. Because I think that this was a regular season game. I think that people would be more willing to lay the points, right?
I agree.
But now it's that's a lot for a playoff game. Interesting wrinkle here, too. Both of these huge spreads that we're going to talk about, of course, the other one I'm talking about is the Bills-Dolphins. They're divisional opponents, which I think makes taking the points more attractive. And I've said it before on other shows Monday, and then I did with my guy 5-Star on Thursday. If this was a non-divisional opponent, I would have laid the 10 without thinking, right? Because I just don't believe in the 7 seeds. So it's tough. I really want to take the Seahawks, but just all the numbers and trends point to pick the winner. And if it's a double-digit spread, don't be afraid to take the favorite because they can't make these lines high enough for how much of a mismatch it is. Remember, 5 years ago, 49ers wouldn't even be playing this week, and the Seattle Seahawks wouldn't be a playoff team. Will that come true? One counterpoint for taking the Seahawks, though, you got to think that this weather we're having right now in California, and thank God we need the rain. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
It's got to help the dog, though, right? It's got to help slow down the game. If you're taking points, you want it to be a rainy, muddy environment. You don't want guys like McCaffrey, Debo to be able to get those quick cuts. right? Maybe it's a bit of an equalizer there for the Seattle Seahawks. My final point on this game is it seriously comes down to, if you want to bet the Seahawks, this is what you have to tell yourself. They can stop the run. Because you look at Shanahan's previous games, the games that they win, he doesn't throw the ball. And we all can remember when they made the Super Bowl that one year and Jimmy Garoppolo only threw 8 passes against the Green Bay Packers, right? But he wants to run the ball in these playoff games. Ball control, less chance for turnovers, more chance of controlling the clock, complementary football, keep your defense off the field. And when your defense is elite and they're only playing 28 minutes and Bosa's going out there rested, not getting gas like we see some of these guys at the end, it's a tough combination. So if you believe that the Seahawks can stop the run, put the 49ers in situations 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, really try and rattle a rookie quarterback, maybe you can make an argument that they cover. I'm still having problems getting there, and I want to, right? It's like when I'm making my handicap, like I'm trying to look for reasons to bet the Seahawks team. It's really tough. Finally, before I throw it over to you, one more point I want to make about this game is a lot's going to be made about Brock Purdy being a rookie, and that's fair. But this is also Geno Smith's first start in the playoffs, right? So it's not like he's going against a guy with vast amounts of playoff experience here. So, that can be an issue as well. So I want to bet the Seahawks, but really I can't find a way to do it. Can you talk me into it, or should we just lay it with the Niners?
I feel bad because this is the game that I was struggling with the most. I'm leaning, taking the Hawks for a lot of reasons, but I think I made this decision right before I came on the show because I kind of wanted to get everything in order. I'm actually not going to wager this game.
And that's fair.
If you have to bet every game, then I would lean the Hawks if you're doing like the parlay or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just personally will not be putting my own money on it. I just couldn't sell myself enough on either side. And definitely not the Hawks. Definitely not the other side. Laying the points with the Niners.
Laying the points to San Francisco, taking the points with the Seahawks. Yes. And the advantage that we have as bettors is they have to put every line up in their sports book. We don't have to bet every game. So I'm fine with you doing that there. Let's switch over to daily fantasy. You've pulled up the numbers, right, for the 6-game slate. Any interest in this game? Obviously, the rain is depressing the total. Let me check double. There's only one total loader. That's the Ravens and Cincinnati, and the implied total for the Ravens is really low. So that's throwing things out of whack. Second lowest total on the board, especially on the Niners side, a wide distribution of where the ball could go or potential guys that could, quote unquote, go off or break the slate. If it's to me, the two players I have the interest most here is going to be George Kittle on the 49ers side and Walker on the Seahawks side. The idea is if you believe, hey, the Seahawks are going to keep this close, you know that Kenneth Walker is going to have a big game. So if you're leaning towards the +10, I see some Walker. Kittle has been a favorite target of Purdy, and we've seen that time and time again, right? Kurt, with young quarterbacks, who do they want to go to? The tight end. Because what are you coached to do? To attack the mismatch. Most likely your tight end is going to have the biggest mismatch that, even if you make a mistake, you can explain it away to the coaching staff, right? Like, well, he was on a slow linebacker, right? Like that was the matchup I should be targeting. So not a surprise that a player as talented as Kittle has become the safety blanket for Purdy. Those are the two guys that I'm targeting, but of course, roster construction and price means so much here. Who are you targeting?
It's actually just Kittle for me. I think you can just plug in Kittle and move on and not have to jam anyone else.
Okay.
Stuff could change, but like as far as the weather goes, but I think it's pretty set in stone. I like your point on Walker, where if you believe it's close, if you are the one who's like, I'm hell bent on taking the Hawks plus, then okay, well that's going to correlate.
Unfortunately, I'm not hell bent on it, so I think I'm with you. Maybe just the tight end. The final point: do you think the Niners' defense is worth spending up for? Because this is another roster construction question, but our idea here is that they could be a high-scoring team. The question is it going to be worth the extra money, or do you want to just go cheap on defense so you can add some more studs?
So I'd rather just save $300 and do the Bills. This is going to take me into one of the bets I had this week already. It's already came down. It was Dolphins to be the lowest scoring team on Wild Card Week. It was plus 358. I got it at plus 300 now. I know people are probably scared of the Hawks, but like at some point,
yeah, I'm scared of the Ravens too.
I think Huntley's better than
quarterback.
It comes down to this. I think
is it going to be Huntley for sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. But even Anthony Brown, I'm probably taking Brown over Thompson too. And the fact that here's the thing. The Ravens offense is, I mean, they could just go ground and pound and still get some points. The Dolphins' whole offense, it's their whole flow, bro, is passing the ball. And they don't have anyone capable of passing the ball. Seahawks, same thing. Like their MO is they passed a lot this year, but Geno is a better quarterback than those other two guys. I think it's good value, even still at plus 300, which is why I'll save $300 and take the Bills defense. But if you have the extra 300, screw it. You can play the 49ers, but
yeah, or if you're doing a multiple lineups, right? You find
they'll definitely be in my pool. I'm probably gonna max.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, anything more on the Seahawks and the Niners? Have you looked at any like player props here? I think the best one will be Kittle over 3.5 receptions.
Yeah, I peeked at him. I like that. Nothing else really stood out. I thought about clicking Walker over 60 yards. But I got a little too scared, so I'm not going to do that. So not too much from here, which is fine with the weather and everything. I don't think you need to force yourself in.
This is a game you might be able to play unders. But if I did, I would wait because we know that 99%, like it's so weird how the books list player props because they're actually like, so on sides and totals, right? They're just balancing the action and then just taking a vig, right? I mean, it's almost like they can't lose, right? They get ideally, right? They get 50% of the people to bet the Seahawks. They get 50% of people to pay the Niners. They pay out at minus 110. And, if they have $500,000 wagered, right, they take 5% of it. On these player props, it's all liability to the overs. Nobody bets unders here.
Yeah.
I think that's a funny aspect of it. But I think if you wait, right, you check the rain. Like my buddy likes to do this for his fantasy football. Watch the pregame show. Look at how hard the rain's coming down. Maybe you can get
oh my gosh, I'm
these unders.
I got to be quick because I had to be out here in like 23. But that example right there, when the Bills played that snowy game, was like, oh my god, it's gonna be 30 inches of snow. I was watching the pregame, and Josh Allen's passing prop was like 225, and I texted my buddy. I was like, hammer it. I was like, do the alt line 275, and like, oh my god.
I know because me and my buddy did the same. The guy I'm talking about, we did the same thing, and we texted each other, and we go, it doesn't look that bad.
No, not at all.
To be fair, I'm a California kid. I don't want to be out there, but for these guys that are used to it, it's not that bad.
The concern was the snow because I checked the wind. I was tracking the wind all week. The wind wasn't bad. It was just the fact that people were scared of the snow. The snow wasn't there. So I mean, oh my god, that was a great night. I didn't talk about that, but we made a lot of money that night. It was awesome.
Yeah, don't be afraid, especially on these player props. If you want to do an under, wait till kick. These numbers aren't going down. The Los Angeles Chargers are -2 in Jacksonville, taking on the Jaguars. Totals 47.5, plus 115. This is one I've actually already bet, Kurt. Maybe it's a heart bet because I just want the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence to be good. But I think there's also multiple factors that you can say, hey, this is a good play after all. Trevor Lawrence probably has a little more experience in big games, right? You want to know a fun fact, Kurt, for Trevor Lawrence? He's never lost a game on a Saturday.
Or a playoff game.
He's never lost a game on a Saturday. It's just played on Saturday. Because, right, the national championship loss is a Monday night and, Sundays. But, yeah, he's won the couple Saturday games he's played in the NFL. And the other thing is, are the Chargers built to win in the playoffs? Kurt, former offensive lineman, to win in these big-time football games, you got to be able to stop the run. And Brandon Staley is cool, but this whole idea is that we're just going to be a great pass defense because that's all that matters in the NFL now. I think it's too easily exploitable because at the end of the day, like when you started playing football, right, what was the first thing you guys started doing? Running plays, right? What is the most badass player at Pee Wee? It's usually the running back, right? Yeah. Just hand the ball off to him, win Pee Wee football, right? And you learn pass protection later in life. I mean, running the ball is so key. And if the Chargers can't stop the run, I mean, it just seems like it's a huge spot for Etienne. I think that his performance is directly correlated to the Jaguars winning. So if I like the Jaguars to win, which I do, I like Etienne on player props, and I also like Etienne on the DFS side. one thing we're going to have to manage or balance is he seems pretty chalky. I'm not the only one with this idea about Travis Etienne, right? So it should be a great game. It's the game I'm looking forward to most as a fan. And I have a feeling that even if I lose the bet, I'm not going to be disappointed at the end of the game because we'll see some great football out there, or at least exciting. I don't know if it would be that most high-level football, but it should be an exciting back-and-forth battle. Kurt, your thoughts on Chargers, Jaguars?
Yeah, I'm doing the Jags plus 2.5. I think the Jags win outright and win Jags money line. Chargers can't stop the run, and they really can't stop much of the pass, to be honest, either. So all Jags for me. A little bit of fool's gold last week with the Chargers looking good. I've watched Herbert all year, and play calling. I don't know who it is. I'm starting to think it might be a little bit of Herbert, which really pains me to say.
He might be playing hurt all year, right? Didn't he break ribs at the beginning of the year? I mean, that's
he can still make some of those like wild throws, but I'm not betting the Chargers team, man. I can't do it. I'm betting over like one interception thrown for Herbert. I'm betting that because I think they're going to have the lead and have to pass a lot late, and I like the value as plus 105. So I'm betting that. Props, nothing yet. Props, I don't really start digging in too soon, but if something stuck out, I would relay it. For DFS, like you said, like Travis is going to be chalk. I'm playing it. I don't mind the thought of like the trailing script.
So what do we do? We just make sure we're balanced by getting different, like at one different position.
I don't think it's even going to matter, honestly. I feel like you'll naturally be different because the pricing's so soft. There's so many things you can do. Yeah. So I mean, this is my favorite game to stack up too. I like the over.
Okay, I didn't get in on the side. 47.5 is the total. Second highest on the board in the Giants.
I'm sorry, Everett. I've been targeting Jags defense with tight ends, so I like Everett.
Evan Ingram, Gerald Everett's on a different team, right?
Yeah. So Jags are bad against stopping tight ends.
But isn't it Evan Ingram that we're playing?
No, Gerald Everett plays for the Chargers.
Oh, my bad. I'm thinking of the other side, right?
Yeah.
So Evan Ingram's been good though too, right? I mean, a couple of our best ball teams are guys that won best ball to victory there.
There was just a massive line change in this game for receiving yards for like 3 people. That was weird.
Who?
Never seen that. It just 3 names flashed and the number changed.
Which game?
The Chargers, the one I'm looking at. That's crazy. I think it was like Kirk. I don't know. But 3 of them just changed numbers.
Oh, people must be hammering.
Or maybe I'm just tripping balls.
But they're betting overs, right? The numbers
yeah.
Like I said. So, if you like the player prop overs, when Tyler puts them on the sheet, get them in early. If you want the under, you're one of the rare people that do. Feel free to wait. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins, who are now plus 13.5 in Buffalo, taking on the Bills. Total is 43.5. Skylar Thompson takes the start. Kurt, this is about as close to a buy as we can get.
Yeah.
I'd rather so if I'm only laying the points into the 2 double-digit spreads, this is the game I'm targeting. I mean,
Mike Williams
might not even get more than 10 points. I think we see a dialed-in Bills team. I think the Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL. And I talked about it earlier, the statistics with these double-digit spreads, how much they favor the favorite, and they can't set these lines high enough. I mean, the proper line for this might be like 16, 17. I'm all in on the Bills. I don't really even have a lot to say. I didn't even spend a lot of time on this game. I just think got the Bills.
I'm betting. Like I said, I mentioned that bet I'm doing earlier with Miami, lowest scoring team of the play. The last time I had a strong enough conviction was last year. I did one of these specials, and it was Patrick Mahomes was playing the Steelers. They're playing someone they're going to kill, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's not going to have the most passing yards. They're not going to have to pass the ball." He literally had the most pass. I got it at like plus 500 because everyone thought he wouldn't be the highest passer. Yeah, he was the highest passer by like 80 or to 100 yards. I smashed that bet. Easy money.
What number did you get? I only have plus 200 on that bookmaker.
This was last year. This is when they were playing the Steelers, and everyone's like,
but on the Dolphins.
I got plus 350.
Yeah, it's down to plus 200 here.
What the hell? Okay. Well,
they always deal like half the amounts.
Oh, okay.
They have less casual players, so they have to put sharper lines up.
That makes sense. So you got that, and I like betting the team total under as well. That correlates. Also taking the Bills. That'll probably be something I tease. I'll do like a teaser with that, and like maybe the Seahawks. I'll tease that one too. I like that as a little teaser.
I don't like that. I don't like teasing the Seahawks there.
Really?
I think the times that it lands between 10 and 16 is not nearly the amount you're paying.
Now, that's something that I bet the numbers reflect that, and that's why you're saying that. So I appreciate that. I would not know.
I used to do that when I first started betting. This, I mean, years ago.
Is that like an analytics thing? Like history has shown you that?
That's more anecdotal. Just my experience. Okay. Whenever I'd tease the big teams up, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm getting 16 instead of 10," it didn't seem to matter.
What about the Giants? What about the Giants?
If I were to tease, I would tease the Jaguars up and the Bengals down. If you want to match with the Bills, Bengals.
Yeah, I like that. That'll be my
tease. You're moving through two key numbers there.
Yep.
Or your Buccaneers, which we'll get to, but they're plus 2.5, so that's right in that great zone too.
I don't feel great about them.
Yeah.
So DFS,
but yeah, DFS. We're not playing any Dolphins, right?
No, Gabe Davis 4.8. Whew, man, he's.
Oh, are we doing Gabe Davis?
Man, I don't know. It's
bro. How many times have we all rostered Gabe Davis and all had snowflakes and had him like crush our lineups? That guy, Gabe Davis, he's like, I don't know if you got one of those, Kurt. You're probably better than that. But you ever know a guy that just like keeps getting cheated on and he keeps going back to her? I feel like that's Gabe Davis for us, right? It's like,
yeah,
guys, we already know how this turns out. Like we might get some like, bomb evenings here and there, but is it worth the stress in the long run? Is it worth it?
If you're multi-entering, I think
Saturday night when she comes over at midnight. I mean, is it really worth it?
If you're multi-entering, I think it definitely is because like even if you're just doing 3-entry max, I would make sure to get one Gabe Davis because that 70-yarder is like it's gonna happen. It's gonna piss you off if you don't at least have a share. So, and it's 4.8. Like now, that's when that 70-yarder really starts to like whoa. I mean, you're setting good. You don't even need another catch.
Roberts with me. Like Davis has broken the slate 2 games all year and deaded every single other one. It feels like.
Those 2, though, I made a good profit. Those 2, I promise.
Oh, my God. See, you're sounding exactly like my buddy. Why do you keep messing with her? Oh, man, last Saturday night. I mean, it was
she got that. She got that sloppy toppy 3,000.
Yeah, that's what Gabe Davis is. He's asking about Isaiah McKenzie. Is him being hurt? Does he think that raises Gabe Davis stock?
No, not at all. It doesn't affect Gabe at all.
Okay.
It actually would affect Cole Beasley, John Brown, and Khalil Shakur more.
Okay, there you go. Good knowledge. All right, anything more from that game? I think it kind of sucks. I think you just lay it with the Bills and move on.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, and if you have that FanDuel number, even at plus 300, grab the Dolphins. At plus 200, I probably don't have enough of an edge there, though, huh?
Yeah, I don't love plus 200 at all.
Yeah, you need to get more there. All right, New York Giants, plus 3 in Minnesota taking on the Vikings. Totals 48. Another one. I think you can make good arguments on both sides. Is this going to be a fun game to watch? I'm not sure.
I think so.
Okay. If I were to make an argument for the Vikings, right, I would basically say that they have multiple ways to win. They could fall behind and still be dangerous. Whereas the Giants, I feel like if you get down by double digits, that's not a situation with those wide receivers that you want to be in. So for the Giants to win this game, they need to come out strong, establish the run early, and they need Saquon to just be unbelievable. The other side would be I think that the Giants are better coached. I think they definitely have a better defense. And the Vikings are pretty lucky to win. The first time that these two teams played, the Giants looked like the better team when they matched up. Felt like another Vikings miracle. Of course, the Vikings won 27-24 on Christmas Eve. That would have pushed on this current spread, and it would have gone over the total that we're seeing right now. Kurt, I haven't got involved in this game yet. I have the line giving me an edge towards the Vikings, but I don't know. Do we really believe in this team?
I don't. I mean, God, they just freaking had a horseshoe up their ass all year and luck box all the way through. But then it's like the Giants have no receiver, so it's. I hate to do this on a playoff slate, but man, this is a tough one for me. This is really I have not made a decision. This is a game I'm going to want to bet because I think it's going to be fun to watch. I'm leaning the Giants plus 3. I can't lie. I really am.
Okay, let us know why.
I just don't believe in the Vikings. They can't stop Slayton.
So is this more of a pro-Giants bet or a Vikings fade?
A Vikings fade.
I knew it.
I do think they'll be able to establish it. And I do think their secondary is super slow. So Slayton could catch a bomb on them, which, I mean, that changes the entire game. And I don't know. Danny Dimes looking good. He can scramble. They can just keep fighting and clawing, even with these shitty receivers, Mm-hmm. So, and maybe Kenny Golladay might be back a little bit. Maybe he can give him a catch or two.
Okay. I was with you until the last sentence.
I was with myself until the last sentence, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he came out your mouth like, oops, I really want to say that.
Golladay, the sixth receiver on the team.
But, I mean, hey, right? I mean, when you're getting
all you got to do is
1 or 2 catches and you've increased your production.
What if he just shows prime, like that one season he had? What if he
on Detroit, where literally when he was in the game, you bet on him, and when he was out, you didn't. Like he was that much to the offense that year in Detroit. Again, I have one more thing to ask you about this game. Okay, so if you think Saquon establishes it, we have to be interested in rostering him here, right? Is he worth the money?
Oh yeah, I think it. I mean, 7,900 and on this slate is. I think he's worth it. I mean, I think his floor is godly because if they get down, he'll just rack it up. At the end of the year, you started seeing that they were giving obviously besides when he was resting, but even before he was resting, they were giving Breida and them a lot of work. I think this is just absolutely insane snap count here for Barkley. I think the floor is 20. Honest to God.
Okay,
I love the
so you like
play.
spending up for Barkley. I think a sneaky play is Daniel Jones. Here's my idea. These receivers can't get open. And what's one of his best weapons? And even if you look at this individual quarterback matchup, his biggest advantages, he can move the ball on the ground. Why? I mean, why not just run it like Justin Fields this week? This is the playoffs. You're actually not even committed to the guy, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you have a 5-year deal with him if he gets hurt. I would be running so much for Danny Dimes because I think that's the one edge. Oh my God. I just realized I forgot to send the fucking link to Joey Work. I got to do that right now.
Wow.
Talk to me about Justin Jefferson while I do that.
Actually, I like what you were mentioning about doing Danny Dimes, and then instead of running back with the receiver, maybe you just take Barkley and hope that Barkley gets the receiving touchdown, and then you run that back with Jefferson. That's a nice little mini stack right there. It could be a mini stack inside of you're taking Jones. So I guess you could do the 2 little mini stacks and then maybe take some of the guys from the Jags-Chargers game. But I like that little idea right there for one of my multiple lineups. Jefferson, the secondary, this is how you attack the Giants. We're getting him at 8,400. No, there's been a couple down weeks. Obviously, last week was because he only played a half. Still looked well. I mean, what else can I say? The Giants secondary, I don't think they'll be able to.
Worth the money, though?
Yes.
Okay.
You got to think we're getting.
You're only making one lineup. Would you rather spend up for Saquon or Jefferson?
Give me Jefferson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
I love Barkley too. That just shows you how much I'm going to really prioritize both these dudes. I mean, because look at the games. You're going to have guys. You're going to really have a lot of guys, or like to have a lot of guys in the Chargers, Jags. This is my second game, honestly, because I think Cincinnati won't have to do that much. I think they'll kind of establish it, and people are going to get pissed. But I think they'll try to establish it more often than what people expect. And then, the Bucs can't fucking move the ball. So these are honestly my 2 favorite games: Giants and Vikings, and Chargers, Jags. So yeah, I'm probably watching those
high totals on the board. All right, anything more from this one before we move on?
No, sir.
This game sucks. The Baltimore Ravens are plus 8.5 in Cincinnati, taking on the Bengals. Total's 40.5. It should have been awesome, man. Can you imagine if we're getting Lamar versus Joey B? That would have been awesome. Instead, what are you expecting Huntley to play?
Yes.
I still think the Bengals cover. I think you bet it now, and then if he's out, it's just the line probably moves to 10.
I think I don't. As long as Huntley plays, this is actually my favorite dog.
Okay, let us know why. Because I don't like these. I don't know.
Okay, so this is not really much to do, but I think Harbaugh's a good coach. He's undefeated.
No, he's a great coach.
Great coach. I saw a stat today about. I was already leaning this way, but I saw a stat about his record, home or road playoff games. He has the best winning percentage, some shit like that. Obviously, that's usually when he has a starting quarterback, but I think Huntley can do enough here. I think this defense really, really gets fired up here. The defense has the talent. They've just not had that absolutely crushing game against a really good team. I think even though on the road, this could be it here. The offensive line is shaky. We still know that. They've gotten a lot better this year. But, this D-line can get to him, mess things up a little bit. Those cornerbacks on the outside are super physical. Jam the hell out of Jamar Chase. Get him. God dang it! Someone's got rolled out in your league. But yeah, that's how those corners play. Like they jam dudes, get them off, and then let the D line get to Joey B. I just really like the Ravens +9. That's the one I'm going to take.
Okay, and that's fair, right? Because not all on. Well, maybe all these favorites will come.
And of course, I think the under correlates with that.
Okay, that's 40.5 right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're big on the Ravens +9 and you're big on the under, does that mean you're not going to the studs in this game? Obviously, Jamar Chase has been fantastic all year. Joey B, always, you can never rule him out when you're talking about quarterbacks. Any Ravens interest? Mark Andrews, choose one.
Yeah, Andrews 5'2". If you can't get up to Kittle, I like Andrews 5'2". I mean, I'm going to be multi-entering, so yeah, we'll have some Bengals. But overall, I probably will be lower on them than what a lot of people are.
If I'm making one lineup, can I cross this game off?
How I'm approaching it, I would.
I think so too.
I think
because I'd rather have Kittle than Andrews.
I think Burrow might end up being the most popular quarterback. So I'm really taking a strong stand. I'm taking a strong stand.
So, huh?
6'9". Let me see what they're projecting for right now.
I think Allen's going to be more popular going against that Miami Dolphins defense.
I think people will be scared of the blowout. And the price. You're saving $1,000.
Doesn't matter. This isn't NBA and it's not the regular season.
I know, but they can.
Bro, they're not going to pull them out till. No, they're not going to. They'd have to be up by 30 with 6 minutes to go. I don't think. And that's one of the reasons why I think that these big favorites cover so much.
Yeah. So right now it's
because
Allen's 26 and Burrow's 21. Sorry.
On what? On percentage of ownership?
Projected. Yeah, ownership.
So Burrow is projected higher, huh?
No, you're right. No, Allen's 5% higher, but I think people are going to build. They're going to build and be like, "Damn, I really need this $1,000." Like, okay, let me go Burrow instead of Allen. I think it'll just be like that. Not that people will go in and click Allen first. I promise you, but they'll be like, I could use that extra 1,000. Let me just go Burrow instead of Allen, and I think he'll end up being close to the most popular.
Tanner says not blowout where they pull him, but where they start to establish the run.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thank you, Tanner.
Okay, that's fair. The Bills don't run the ball.
Let James Cook fumble a couple times and get the game
away. And then watch him run Allen for the rest of the game.
I do like James Cook.
They're going to Cam Newton that dude. I won't be surprised if he's falling off at age 30.
That's so sad. I hope not, man. I'll give him my limbs.
I mean, look at Cam in 2016 compared to 2019. Yeah. That's not normal aging. He's not old.
No.
That's the accumulation of hits that he took. They're doing the same thing. Yeah, I think Allen gets a lot of that. They're running that kid in the ground. Anyways, who am I to speak? Not my life, not my quarterback, and he's being handsomely paid for it. Anything more on the Ravens and the Bengals before we talk about your favorite team?
No props yet, but I'll if I have them, I'll put them in the playbook so people can peep.
All right, playbook time. Can't wait for that. If you want to check out the playbook, runpuresports.com. Head on over, become a member. Can't say enough about how much it's helped me become better daily fantasy players. And we've talked to multiple people who played daily fantasy, joined Run Pure Sports, got the bundle, and said, "Hey, I'm having a lot more fun betting now too." As I learn this and take advantage of the tools. So it's a great combination. Daily fantasy, sports betting information. Give us that thumbs up. Do you have it pulled up? How many likes do we have, Kurt? Are we getting some love here today? While you do that, Bill Miner says everyone's talking Cook might be sleeping on Singletary. Do you agree with that?
Only $700 more? Yeah, I could see it. It's just Singletary's I don't know. I had him on that week where he scored twice, and I still didn't even get 20 points. I'm like, what the hell is this? I luck boxed into 2 touchdowns with the low and Singletary, and I didn't even get 20
If it was Gabe
points.
Davis, you wouldn't mind. You'd be like, oh, it's okay, Gabe. We'll just keep rostering you.
Ooh, Gabe, you're getting me all excited here. I'm getting a little chubby thinking about Gabe Davis. You're going to make me go overweight on Gabe Davis now.
Oh, great. All right. Well, I have a problem being overweight, too. This winter time is definitely getting me down. Dallas Cowboys, -2.5, taking on your Buccaneers. Kurt, the total's 45. Kurt, I made a bet on this game.
Ooh.
It wasn't on a side, though. I bet the under. Here's my
Yes.
Both teams are going to want to run the ball, but both teams have fairly good run defenses. Both teams have old, stubborn coaches that just don't care. I wouldn't be surprised if the game is 3-0 going into the end of the
What's
first
the field
quarter.
goal?
that means I just need 42 for the rest of them. Field goal overs is another good one, right? And so I like the under here because I think that even if these guys can't run the ball, they're going to keep doing it. And I think this time's going to be chunking off the clock. My other main handicap for this game is if you back the Cowboys, you might as well sell points because I think that if the Cowboys win, it's a blowout. The Cowboys do not want to see a close game with Tom Brady. And we've talked about this on this show before. Tom Brady looks 45 years old for about 54 minutes of game time, right? And then the other team, right, be it the Saints or whoever, they make some mistake. They give Tom some life. And then all of a sudden, he looks like he's 29 years old. Dart, right? Everything right on point, right? The guy feels no pressure. Yeah, I think he does better in those situations. It also could be he's quits getting play calls and just gets to call every single play himself of all the information he's gathered going against the defense for the first 54 minutes. And he's just keeping it in his head. Okay, we're going to run that play again with 2 minutes to go. We're going to run that play again when we have 3rd or 5 and more, right? I just think you do not want to keep it close against Brady. If the Cowboys win this game, I say they win by double digits. I would sell points if you like the Cowboys, and I'm not going to even hate if you like the Cowboys. Tell me they're not a better team. Like, where are the Buccaneers better?
Nowhere. Yeah.
Quarterback?
No, I love the Cowboys here.
Okay, you do. I think if they do, they get blown out. Tell us why your team is dead.
This pass rush, our line's still not fully healthy. This pass rush, I mean, he's not going to have much time. And, like, we're not going to score many points, guys, like at all. I hate that to be short and sweet on this game, but, like, I'm betting the over on field goals for both the kickers over 1.5 or over, I don't know, I think it's 1.5. The odds are better for suck up, which I actually like that one more if you just want to do that one. Ryan suck up is like minus 105. Betting that, betting the under, taking the defenses in this game. Yeah. It's going to be low scoring. Cowboys are going to win. Even though they won't be able to run the ball.
Man. It's late. I think that leads right into a Buccaneers win. I can already see Twitter right now. Big T going.
Cowboys are going to be able to score more.
Big T's going to go. John Brady runs so good. The Cowboys, Dak Prescott threw an interception and gave him life. And, these kids, oh, man. I haven't bet it yet, though. My favorite play is there, the under. I'll be fine having that as be my only play. But my idea on this game is that if the Buccaneers keep it close, man, you do not want to. Tom, he's hanging out with your ex-girlfriend. She's looking bad. He's got his mojo back, Kurt. Yeah, I'm surprised you're going against your team. But like I said, the idea is if, the Cowboys are such a better roster. Robert says, have you watched the Cowboys defense last month? I mean, obviously we watched it, Robert, but you make a good point.
Have you watched the Buccaneers offense all season? I have. Fucking horrible, dog. Horrible. Ugh.
All right. Well, there we have it, because I know you have some EuroLeague stuff to do.
Yep.
We're going to jump off early, but we made it through every game. But I'm going to ask you a couple more questions before we do best bets. Favorite spend up on the slate?
Give me Jefferson.
Gamer. Favorite value on the slate? And Gabe Davis is not an acceptable answer.
Let me get James Cook.
Okay. That's fair. All right. There you have it. Let's do the best bet. How are you feeling? Best bet for the weekend, side total or prop?
Let me get prop, and it's going to be Gerald Everett over 31.5 yards. I think the Chargers will be playing from behind. I think that, like I said, the Jags are not good against stopping the tight end. Mike Williams is out. I think 31.5 is a good number. I think you could honestly get that on like 2 plays.
All right, Kurt, thank you for joining us. We're going to sub you out, and we're going to bring Tyler in and get Tyler's thoughts on the 6 games real quick. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Friday.
Have a week, fellas. Let's go.
The divisional round. Love having you on. Great seeing you, Kurt. And let's switch this up. It's Tyler time. Tyler, I know it's late for you on Friday. We're going to switch the time of this show next year.
Yeah, we're definitely switching the time, and I'm just pissed I missed the fucking playoff show. Someone's getting their time slot taken next year.
All right, well, we'll figure that out. And, we might have to do an evening show, kind of like the golf ones, right? Let's talk about these games. We don't have too much time, so why don't we go ahead? I'll just go through each one.
You ain't even got to break them back down. Lean Seattle plus 9.5. I think they can keep that game close in a rainstorm. Okay. Tease the Jags up to 8.5. I think that game will be close. Leave the total alone. Mm-hmm. Buffalo smashes Miami, so I would lay the 13 there. I like the Giants money line. I think they win.
Hold on. Okay, let me stop you here. Why do you like the Giants? Because I think that's a fascinating game.
I just think that once you give that coach 2 times the game plan for a team, you've seen him play Washington, for instance. He tied him the first time. The second time he got his hands on him, he mauled him. You give him 2 times the game plan for a team within a month, I think Dable can put it together and beat that Vikings team. So, like them, of course, like Cincinnati, and then on Monday night, give me the Bucks money line.
You like the Bucks money line there, huh? All right, let us know why there, because Kurt and I went back and forth on that. I leaned the Bucks, but I wasn't strong enough in my conviction to make a bet. The bet I made in that game was the under, and I thought that correlated to the Bucks. My idea, right, is that I trust Tom with 5 minutes to go more than I do Dak. Why do you like the Buccaneers money line?
Yeah, that Dallas defense doesn't look all that good. I mean, it's Tom Brady at home getting his center back with all these weapons. Like, these weapons could light this defense up. I think, honestly, once they are healthy, they could possibly be the better team in this matchup. So give me Tampa.
Okay. You like Tampa there. What do you think, like from a fan's perspective, will be the most exciting game this weekend? I think it'll be the Chargers and the Jaguars. I think that one game is going to be wild, and it's going to be one that we're all tweeting about and talking about the next day. Can you believe it? You know, something wild happens. What do you think is going to be the most entertaining game?
It's either going to be that one or the Vikings-Giants game, I think.
Yeah, and that's Vikings have been exciting all year. Biggest boring game. Let's say, right, my girlfriend says, hey, you can't spend all weekend watching football. You got to at least miss one of these games and do something with me. Which one should we plan to miss?
The Miami-Buffalo game, because they're going to.
I was thinking that one too. They're going to win by like 20.
Yeah.
I don't care. The line's 13.5. That's just ridiculous. I'm surprised. So Seahawks 49ers, even though it's a 10-point spread, I'm interested in it. I don't necessarily think that Seattle's. So there's so many things that made me want to take the 49ers, but there's just a couple reasons
there's one
I
of
haven't
the
done
hefty
it.
favorites on the board that I think can lose. It's them.
Because the rookie quarterback?
No, that and just their defense. I know their defense is one of the best units, but the last couple of weeks they've given a lot up through the air.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all Seattle's going to want to do is throw it to DK and Tyler Lockett. They already know they're not going to be able to move it with Walker on the ground.
You don't think they will?
If they get a couple bucks.
Because I was talking about taking Walker in DFS. You think that's a bad idea?
I don't hate it just because I think he's just going to be unowned and everyone else is going to flock to the other guys. You can just kind of like if you came down to your last running back and it was him and you had like an extra 300, you're probably going to pivot off of some defense to get up to one of the main running backs, right?
Get it to Etienne, right?
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, I don't hate it. Breaks a run, they get a pass interference, he falls into the end zone. He could definitely get there.
All right. Any like futures bets? I know we talked about those on Monday, but have you added any since the last time that we've talked on the air?
Just that the lowest scoring team to be the Dolphins on the wild card weekend plus 490.
Dude, so you got plus 490. Kurt got plus 350. It's now plus 300 on your book, and it's plus 200 on my book.
Yep. And I think the only way you lose that is if Baltimore beats you. And you could just bet them both because they're both right around the same odds.
What do you mean? You just take Baltimore plus 317 as your hedge?
Yeah, mine, like, for instance, odds right now are 303.5 to 1. So take Dolphins 3 to 1, Baltimore.
Oh, you mean Baltimore to be the lowest scoring team?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the only guys that can screw you at that point would be Seattle.
Okay. Here's a question from our guy, Adam G. Will Kittle or Metcalf catch 6 passes? I wouldn't be surprised to see Kittle get a lot. This one, I was saying to Kurt, though, don't be afraid to just chill and watch that pregame. The storm could be crazy. It could, they're saying it's definitely going to rain, and it's been wild, like especially with the winds here, this current storm. But there's also been periods like, where we'll have nice sunshine during the afternoon. So I would say I definitely like Kittle. I don't know about Metcalf getting 6. Doesn't Metcalf seem like he could be a guy that goes for like 120?
Yeah, Lockett usually gets the volume there.
I would like Kittle more, but I would wait.
To be honest, I don't like either of them. I mean, Kittle's got Debo back in his offense now too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably staying away from that.
I like Kittle over 3.5 though for sure. All right, that's basically it. It's we're starting the NBA rundown real soon. But did you have more football thoughts for the people? Maybe maybe I didn't ask the right question, or
no. I mean,
other.
I'm coming in on the fly. I wish I could have been here for the whole show, but
yeah, we'll talk about this afterwards. We got
alarms don't go off certain times. You can't get up, so shit happens. But yeah, I mean, I think my biggest take is I think Tampa wins that game. That's one of my pinned it down. I think they win that game pretty easily.
All right. I'm interested in Tampa as a teaser spot too. Maybe a Bengals Buccaneers tease.
Or the Jags Buccaneers tease. Tease them both up.
Who do you like better as the tease partner there, the Jaguars or the Bengals?
The Jags. Because I don't trust the Chargers to blow anybody out if they win that game.
Okay. There you have it. What's your best bet for the weekend?
Give me the Bucs money line. Monday night, give me their money line.
All right. I'll give two. I like the Jaguars money line, and I like the under on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There you have it, man. I'm a little disappointed you missed the show. Kurt did admirably, though. We had a good time. Thank you for everybody for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. Please check out runpuresports.com. And if you're like me, you're like, man, we didn't really get to talk to Tyler today. Well, he's not going anywhere. We're starting the NBA rundown in 5 minutes here on this channel. If you're subscribed, you'll get the notification. Hit the thumbs up. Run Pure.